you're gonna cheat, at least be clever about it. And so we've got some really interesting pictures for you of some of the most clever ways to cheat on tests. Let's bring up the first one.
Ow,
the thigh is the limit.
And
so the idea is there.
Way to cheat on a test.
Exactly. You put your legs under the desk, you can hike up your skirt a little bit, and nobody's the wiser, unless I'm sitting next to you, in which case I was looking the whole time.
Even if you didn't have the cheat notes there.
Exactly. Oh, they're covering her legs.
Dang it.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Teeny tiny thumbprint.
Honestly, let's be realistic. Who's doing that? Come on.
But they'd never know. I mean, they're
No,
not gonna
but you
see
never
it.
know either. Like, look at that.
Yeah,
you
but
never,
it's
you'd be
like equations, so it's not like you're writing like an intro to your Shakespeare
Yeah.
like thing.
I
don't
guess.
know.
Maybe
Are you
just
guys
have the
encouraging people
giant
to cheat on
thumbnail.
tests?
No,
No,
but if they're
not at
going
all.
to, we want them to do it in an interesting way that
Disclaimer,
generates cool
TYT
pictures for us.
University
Kinda
does
sounds
not
like you are
encourage any
cheating.
sort of cheating whatsoever on tests, nor are we giving you ideas what.
I don't think you were around, but we did a story of this guy in Kazakhstan who had to cheat on this important test. He had wrapped, it was something like 300 feet of papers he wrapped around his waist to bring them into the testing chamber, and he was caught, as you might
Yeah,
expect.
because maybe he was like all
Oh
of a
yeah,
sudden
it made him like really
big.
big. Okay, let's bring up the next one. Eyes up here, professor.
Hey.
I don't
that's
know.
the thing. Even if he catches you, he's gonna be like.
Exactly. Now, if he catches you, then you get to say, "What the hell were you looking down there for?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this one might just have been staged for the article.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
You think?
Let's go to the next one. That's actually very clever, and I think more people might do that than we might
I've
know.
heard of people doing that.
Yeah. Because they would not be able to see that. You're allowed to have water on your desk. That seems pretty clever. Again, you can't fit much, and I don't actually know the logistics of how you do that. I guess you re-glue it or something.
Here's the irony here, though, is that a lot of the reason that people cheat, I think, I don't know, I don't cheat on tests, shocker, is because they don't want to study. Well, by the time you take all of that time to plan out a way to cheat, think of narrow down the information that you want to use on your cheat cards and write it all out. You'll probably have it memorized anyways.
It's a form of studying.
Exactly.
And look, I actually think in terms of writing like equations down like that, I don't like that you're supposed to remember equations on a test.
Yeah, that is
because
really kind of
that's not representative of what, like let's say you have to use those equations in your job. You can look them up if you want to. It's not like your boss is like, hey, don't go on Google.
But it would be
Like-
better if you could have faster recall and be
Yeah.
able to remember them. But yeah, I agree with
that's
you. I
true.
see where you're coming. And obviously, I mean, I don't know about you, my math abilities, they were good in high
know,
school.
it
But then as soon
causes
as I didn't have to use it anymore, it was just like, all right,
Oh
forget
yeah, I
that.
don't remember the quadratic formula or whatever. Let's go to the next one. Actually, I might.
This is my favorite one because look at this chain that's going on here. So if you start at the top right, he's looking down. The other guy's looking at that girl.
What was that professor
Those
doing?
women are. Yeah, that's what I like.
Well, she's got
nobody
a
was-
paper on her lap.
Yeah.
And he's looking at a paper. It looks like on the desk next or the seat next to him.
All three of the women in that second row or
Yeah.
the third row, depending on which way you're going, are all looking at their own sheet papers. You can like see them on their legs next to them. And then this guy's cheating too. Yeah, was this test not being monitored
I guess.
whatsoever?
Maybe the professor took this picture and then told them later, like, you actually thought
Maybe.
you would do this.
Yeah, I guess it's from the
Yeah,
perspective
that's
it would have had to
actually,
be
yeah,
the
that's
professor.
true. That would actually be really funny. And then it was like, F, thought I didn't see ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Let's go to the next one.
Way
Again,
too tiny for you to actually see.
And sparkly. I don't know why it chose such a spark, or is that just so small writing that it looks sparkly?
I don't
Anyway,
know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
And
if
is
you
that in
can't?
Japanese?
Can you imagine if you can't decipher your own writing, and then in the middle of the test you're like,
I know, that's going to be more obvious. You're like, no, I'm not cheating, hang on.
Why did I bring an extra pen? I could have fit more. Let's go to the next one.
This is decently smart too because, but I mean, it's on the top so they could see it.
It's more likely to be caught out than the
Look
water
at all
bottle
these
one.
Japanese people cheating. Look, this is another, okay, I'm sorry
Seriously.
that I don't know my
They take their studies
Asian
very
languages
seriously.
very well. This could be Chinese, I don't know.
Racist. Kim's gonna be pissed. Dude, you can't do that in class. I don't even understand. Like, you can't have your phone out.
I know, that's what I don't get either, is you can't bring in a phone.
Sure, like, okay, take pictures of your notes, but that doesn't seem legit. Don't try to do that.
And
Let's go to the next
you
one.
will get caught.
Yeah, totally. And this is my favorite one. They're working together.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. You don't like
Teamwork.
it. Okay. Is there another one? One more? And
Oh,
that
you're
seems
gonna
like
get, that's
you're
like
gonna
the
get caught.
standard. That's like
Yeah.
pretty much the standard.
that
right?
is so third grade.
Yeah, if you don't
Yeah.
have time to prepare like a water bottle, just write it on your forum, I guess. You're gonna get caught, but you'll save a little bit of time.
And then that's gonna smear too. And
Totally,
then
yeah.
you're gonna be like, damn
You
it.
ruin the inside of your sleeve or something. So we, as we said, we don't condone
Yes.
cheating. You can prepare. You have time. Classes aren't. This is America, okay? Classes aren't that difficult. But if you're gonna cheat, at least do it in an interesting way. Take a picture, and then we can use it on the show.
Yeah, send it to us.